he's paramedic, so all of these guys know too if something were to go really bad. They're trained also into the tourniquets, the blood, anything safety wise. So, yeah, and I can't thank Miss Brooks for all the help and support that she has given this office also, and again to Chief Harrelson and to Ray and Taylor on the end. They're super good guys. So y'all should feel very, very comfortable knowing you've got good people here. And we'll be more than glad to, if out of this setting, if y'all want to know some questions on anything, I think you can reach out to any of us, and we'll be more than glad to talk to you and to try to give you a peace of mind of what really goes on and what to expect. Maybe, hopefully none of this will ever happen, but you have to be prepared.
As we move forward in the next information to share, I think it's important when we talk about the things that are a little uncomfortable, when we talk about school violence, when we talk about the needs for Stop the Bleed and for active shooter, one thing that sets our team apart is almost everyone who is responsible for some of these hard decisions, they are parents, they are grandparents, they have had children in the school, they currently have children in the school. So not only are they looking after our 1,000+ students, they are treating those children just like their own personal children. So it's personal for us. It's not just a job, and we see that from our school's police officer team to our local sheriff's office team. So it's not that they just have maps of the school and they know where a certain room is. They've been there. They've connected with that teacher. They know the children in that classroom. So they take this very personal, and it's one of the most important things that we do. But we know that none of our safety measures are going to be able to be in place without looking at the whole need of the child. And so that is so important for us. And September is here to really kind of talk about those wraparound supports that we have, because we know that we need to make sure all children have their needs met.
And as a district, we actually have several resources to support our families and students with their mental health needs. We offer counseling groups, both with the individual counselors and myself as a social worker. We have providers that are here on site with our APEX program, which is through New Horizons, and our military program, our military MPLAC counselor, which they help provide individualized support for our students. And additionally, we do have our ESE telehealth and teletherapy program, and they provide counseling with licensed clinicians. So we have a variety of resources to help support the families and the students. And if additional support is needed outside of these, we can connect them to those services and supports.
And as we move forward, I just want to remind everyone the way that we are able to make a change for students, for families, for the community, is that everyone feels comfortable to share. If they see something, if they suspect something, that they tell someone. Whether that means they're telling their teacher, whether that means they're telling their administrator, whether that means they're telling their bus driver. Just finding that adult that they connect with and sharing with them what they've heard or seen, and knowing that they can do that free of judgment, free of consequence, that they're sharing the information. In those events where someone feels like they need to say something anonymously, we have it set up so that anonymous reporting can happen, and that can happen even from our community. Our community can utilize these resources to say, hey, I've seen this, or my child reported that this was on social media, and I don't want them involved in it, but I want you to know that this is out there. And those are very important things to help us move forward. And I will say, even though we won't go in depth of the confidential information in our safety manual and our safety protocols, there are multiple ways that our team uses different accounts to check social media. So many times our students, when they have these second accounts and these additional accounts, and they think that they're putting stuff on there and it's only between a set group of students, there are many ways that we utilize to check that. And so we do that quite regularly so that we're getting information. So we do know it's important to give that anonymous way to share information, to if you see something, to say something. But we also know that, as Chief Harrelson said, it's because of those relationships we have in place that people feel so comfortable to just stop people, talk to them at lunch, and to share information. So I want to take a few minutes as we wrap up and know, we talk a lot about one heartbeat. We talk a lot about, we're stronger together, and we do see that. When we work in unity, we are much stronger together. We're able to ensure that our children are reaching that vision and mission that we talked about, being productive contributors of society. But we do want to hear from our families, our community, and make sure that they have input and that they feel like their suggestions are heard, because we know that in a heightened time like now, you may have ideas, and we want to make sure that we haven't ruled any possibilities out. And so I do want to share 2 questions that I have received via email. And one was, will our district consider mandating clear backpacks? And so that has not been a mandate in the past, that students have to use clear backpacks, but we have started the conversation with our leadership team and our principals so that we can see what kind of burden would that place on our families if, you've already purchased backpacks and now we say, hey, now that we're really digging deep into our safety plan, this would be a valuable strategy. So we do not have an answer on that yet, but I do want everyone to be aware that it's on the table for discussion. And another one was, who do I call if I see something on social media? And so I'm not sure if that was from a parent or from a student, but at any time, if you or your family members see something on social media, you can reach out directly to your school principal. You can reach out by phone call to your school, and you've got the receptionist who can take that information. You can reach out directly to the central office between my office and myself. We will take that information. And of course, anyone can reach out to their school counselors and our safety officers and report that. We want to make sure that if at any time something is on social media, whether you feel like it is small or not, that you feel comfortable to report that. So moving forward, does anyone in our audience have any suggestions or questions or anything that they may want to add to this conversation?
Dr. Brooks, I do want to add that chatcosheriff.org, we also have an anonymous tip line where you could go on there and if you see something you want to remain anonymous, or if you don't, you can do that. And of course, always feel free to reach out to the Sheriff's Department if you need to.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, and it just doesn't have to be for our school. It could be for any school. If a child hears anything, please let us know.
And we do know that so many of our students either have family or relatives, or they commute in, as we do accept out-of-county students. So we work closely with our neighboring school systems, and we would want to make sure that we are able to provide them information for their safety, just as they would do the same for us. So thank you for that. The chatcosheriff.org as a anonymous reporting, and we'll make sure that we highlight all of this information on social media so families can screenshot it and save it for quick access as well. We do have posters throughout the school that has the school system information on it, but we could also add the sheriff's information on that as well. Any other questions or comments? And again, our goal is just to ensure that as our families send their children to school, you need to be able to have the assurance that your children are in a safe environment, that they're supported, and that they're taken care of. And that is first and foremost what we want to do each day, is that when you send your children to us, that your worries can subside, because you know that we have a team of professionals that care about your child, that wants to see your child succeed, and that are willing to do any steps necessary to make sure that they're safe. And that is really the philosophy that all of us operate under. If you have questions, or if you would like to meet offline, you are welcome to send me an email at kbrooks@chatco.org, or you can reach out to our safety team as well. Thank you.